The Beijing evening sky reflects a golden-orange color, giving a warm impression that contrasts with the cold autumn breeze. Zhao Jinmai stood in front of the studio door, grasping the script tightly. That day was the first day of filming for her long-awaited fantasy romantic drama, and also the day that she would for the first time come face-to-face with Zhang Linghe, a co-star whose name is skyrocketing. Jinmai knew him only from the screen. Tall, charismatic, with a gaze capable of making anyone feel as if they were the center of his world. But meet in person? That's another story. He caught his breath as he saw the silhouette of the man approaching in the hallway of the studio. His steps calm, a faint smile engraved on his lips. Zhao Jinmai. The voice is heavy, deep, but warm. Yes. Zhang Linghe. Jinmai reached out, trying to look professional even though his heart was beating irregularly. It's nice to finally meet. Hope we can work well together. Linghe shook his hand briefly, yet long enough to make his blood rustle. The first scene they have to play turns out to be not just a formal face-to-face but an emotional one, in which their characters are reunited after 5 years of separation. No warm-up, no time to get used to. When the camera started recording, Linghe approached her with such an intense gaze. Jinmai had forgotten to say the dialogue. It feels like she is not acting, but really being a woman who is missed by the man in front of her. The director shouted, "Cut!" Good, but even deeper emotions. They repeated, and this time, the gaze hit his heart. There was something in Linghe's eyes that wasn't written on the script, an honesty that was hard to explain. That afternoon, behind all the spotlights and cameras, another story began to intertwine. Proximity that invites speculation. The following days brought them to more intense filming locations. From scenes of quarrels, laughter, to long stares without dialogue, Linghe seemed to always find a way to make Jinmai comfortable. As the rest of the crew was busy preparing for the set, he quietly handed Jinmai a cup of warm tea. "You look tired. It's without sugar, as you like," he said with a slight smile. Such a small gesture did not escape the eyes of the crew. Some began to whisper, exchanging glances as if they had smelled an unusual scent. Even their makeup artist had joked, "You guys," lest his chemistry carried over to the outside of the camera. Jinmai just smiled, dismissing the comment. But his heart secretly wondered, is this just a professional attitude of a senior actor on his co-star? Or is there something deeper? Linghe also began to show a tension that was difficult to ignore. When it suddenly rained in the middle of an outdoor shoot, he stood next to Jinmai, shielding her with his jacket. At that moment, there was a flash of a camera flash from a distance. The paparazzi are always looking for sweet moments like this. Secrets behind the scenes. That evening, after filming was over, they sat in a quiet dressing room. Dim lights make the atmosphere even more intimate. "You know," Linghe broke the silence. "Today's scene, which we're playing, feels like real." Jinmai turned his head, slightly surprised. "You mean?" Linghe lowered his head, avoiding a direct gaze. "I don't know why, but every time I look into your eyes in front of the camera, I feel like I'm not playing my character. I really want to protect the person in front of me." Those words left Jinmai speechless for a long time. The line between acting and reality should be clear. But day by day, the boundaries are blurred. And that night, for the first time, Jinmai realized he was starting to look forward to the next scene, not just for the sake of work, but for the sake of being able to spend time with Zhang Linghe. A look that cannot be hidden. As time went on, their relationship became more and more difficult to hide. Behind-the-scenes cameras often captured moments where Linghe stared at Jinmai for too long, even after the director had shouted, "Cut!" Fans began to take notice, making a compilation video of Zhang Linghe's gaze for Zhao Jinmai that went viral on social media. Gossip accounts began to write articles with titles such as, "Not acting, Zhang Linghe and Zhao Jinmai look too close on set." The public comment was divided. Some were in favor, some were skeptical. Linghe simply responded with a smile whenever this matter was discussed. But in the private room, he began to give Jinmai a clearer signal. If all this is just acting, Why do I feel afraid of losing you when the camera is off? He whispered one night. Media and paparazzi. The peak of the gossip occurred when a photo of the two of them outside the set was spread. The photo shows Linghe and Jinmai walking close together on a night sidewalk, lit only by streetlights. Linghe lowered his head, disguising his face with a mask, while Jinmai smiled faintly. The media exploded. Headlines popping up, cornering them. Management began to fidget, worried that their dramatic image would be disrupted. However, behind the scenes, the two calm each other down. I don't care what they say, Linghe said firmly. The important thing is that you know how I feel. Career pressure and feelings. However, love in the public spotlight is not easy. Jinmai's manager asked him to keep his distance. You're still young, your career is just going up. Don't let this relationship ruin everything. Linghe also received a similar warning from his agency. But every time they're on set, all those rules evaporate. The romantic scenes in the peak episodes make them forget about the risk. As the camera stopped recording, Linghe still held Jinmai's hand, looking at him as if he didn't want to let go. Quarrel on a rainy night. Media pressure and bans from agencies depressed them. One night, after filming, they had a fight in the studio parking lot. The heavy rain poured down. The heavy sound drowned out some of their words. Why are you so cold? Jinmai held back tears. I'm protecting you, Linghe replied, his voice rising. I don't want you to be a media target just because of me. They parted that night without a word of peace, leaving a hanging feeling. Silent proposal. A few weeks later, Linghe decided to take a big step. He took Jinmai to a small cafe by the lake, far from the city center. There, with a simple ring in his hand, he said, I don't know what our future is, but I know I want to live it with you. Marry me. Jinmai was surprised, but his heart had already given an answer a long time ago. Yes, he said in a trembling voice. Photo leaks and public uproar. Unfortunately, the happiness did not last long in silence. Photos of the ring on Jinmai's finger leaked to the media. Netizens were in uproar. The hashtag Zhang Linghe Zhao Jinmai engaged became a national trending. Both agencies initially denied it, but fans were already too convinced. Some are angry, some give their blessing. The choice that changes everything. Amidst the storm of public opinion, Linghe and Jinmai sat side by side on the sofa of their small house. We can refute, or we can tell the truth, Linghe said. Jinmai looked at him, then smiled. I'm tired of hiding. I want the world to know. They finally decided to officially announce their engagement. Career risks remain, but they know one thing. Sincere love is worth fighting for, even under the glare of the most blinding lights. And behind all the glitter of the entertainment world, Zhang Linghe and Zhao Jinmai found a home in each other's hearts.